Hey yo, excited to see you right here. I'm here to talk about the Bible chapter verse number 2. The chapter 2. It's gonna be called Exodus. Exodus means like if you're above with the law with God, but the God will ask you to try to look above the rules from the God's plan. And so, like I said before, whoever like you can do anything that they can do with that law is the police officers or firefighters, doctors, nurses. It can be anyone. Those are the main phrases bosses because they're trying to give you above the law. And so does teachers and other staffs that they're called like the bosses. If they tell you what to do, you have to listen and follow up the law if you can. But there's some one thing that you need to know. Just stay perfect. Stay perfect above the law. You know, there's a lot of differences that you can do anything that you need to learn from any teachers or any emergency people that are trying to help you with the law, especially police officers. Like police officer says, no littering around an area. God will not challenge you if you do littering. That lets you go to pay the fine or go to jail. You know, and plus NBA always pays fines or suspensions. That's why they're disgraced about the law because God needs to command this. That's why we're trying to force everything that they have in their life. But in that Bible chapter verse life, you have to be more sincere with God if you have the love and kind to be with Him. But that's not the thing you're talking about. But I'm talking about the law because people they're trying to break things like that. You know, stealing money or stealing shoes, clothes, and stealing jewelries and shit. That's against the law. You know, I'm trying to force everything that what we have, what's going on in the future. You know, if you go to jail, then you can't go above the law. That's why God wants you to be in jail. But sometimes you can get bailed, whoever what God praise you with some new financial stuff. That's a different kind because whoever making above the law is not much above in the law. It's like if you get into the car accident or a car wreck against any people, that's against the law. You know what I mean? Or sexual abuse or sexual intercourse from without consenting above the law is different because if you see people doing that like sex or or especially like when Eve ate the apple, that's against the law. You know, we're trying to see what God was trying to command you, and that's why we want to make sure you don't want to get harm yourself if you keep doing it. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you know those people they're trying to get you all along, you know, it's okay to be friends or best friends or and cousins and others to be handled, but you just need to above the law when you're children. If you're children, you have to learn their lessons from teachers. That's the main boss right there. Or especially the job workers too. Job workers can be bosses too. Like one of those workers from landscaping or whatever. You know, it can be anywhere. It can be like any people who we're working with. That's why we want to make sure we don't have to reach the polls to do the good job above the law. You know, try do your job and do your learning and all kind of stuff. So that's why you have to persuade for to feel how you feel. But that's a big thing. But you know, you just need to make sure just listen to your teachers, listen to the police officers, and everything. That's all we got. You know, that's all you have to do. If you don't listen, something is not going to give you the law. You can go to jail, or you can go on detention, juvenile hall. When you're children, when you steal stuff and shit, that's where you can go to juvenile hall. But that's only for like when people who were like 5 years old to 17 years old, 18 and up, or you can go to jail. You know, or especially deportation if you're illegal Mexican or illegal Mexican American. You know, it's the same shit. Deportation kind of get against the law if you don't if you don't do anything good for the life. That's like what God won't want you to be successful. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, and that's it. All right, I think that's enough for above the law. So hope you the next chapter will be cooler. So I'll give you some hopes. So this is Eagle Eyes of the Sea. Keep it right at sea. Keep it real.